Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Jaya Radha Madhava, Kunja Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Kunja Bihari. Hari Hari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Giridharadhari. Jaya Radha Jaya Radha Vishnu Padaya Krishna Vishnu Padaya Shrimati Gopal Krishna Swami Dhamini Prabhupada Society Prakasha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavati Paschatya Deshatarine Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnana Jnana Salakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Asmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manovishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadam Dati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shiguru Sijuta Parakamala Sigurum Vaishnavamscha Sirupam Saprajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadvadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakamritamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dīnabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrisabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kipasindubhyavivacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaisnavebhyo namo namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sarvaita Ganadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, the Summon Bonum, Chapter 76, the battle between Salva and the Vrishnis. Text 25. Salbanika pasastro gair Vrishni vira visardita Na tatyajuranam swam swam Lokadvaya jigishava Salbanika pasastraikoir Vrishni vira visardita Natatya juranam swam swam Lokadvaya jigishava Tattvabit Prabhu Salvanika pasastraikhair Vishni vira visardita Natya churnam swam swam Lokadvaya Jigishava. Mataji. Shalvani Kapa Sastrai Vishni Vira Vishargita Word for word meaning salva, of salva. Anika pa, of the leaders of the army. Shastra, of weapons. Aghai, by floods. Vrishni Vira, the heroes of the Vrishni clan. Vrisha, extremely. Ardita, pained. Na tat yaju, they did not abandon. Ranam, the places on the battlefield. Swam swam, each their own. Loka, the worlds. Dvaya, two. Jigishavaha, wishing to conquer. Translation and purport by the followers and disciples of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada K. Because the heroes of the Vrishni clan were eager for victory in this world and the next, they did not abandon their assigned posts on the battlefield, even though the downpour of weapons hurled by Salva's commanders tormented them. Everybody please repeat. Because the heroes of the Vrishni clan were eager for victory in this world and the next. They did not abandon their assigned post on the battlefield, even though the downpour of weapons hurled by Salva's commanders tormented them. Purport. Srila Prabhupada writes, quote, the heroes of the Yadu dynasty were determined to either die on the battlefield or gain victory. They were confident of the fact that if they would die in the fighting, they would attain a heavenly planet. And if they would come out victorious, they would enjoy the world. Unquote. That's the purport. Hare Krishna. So we are here in this part of the S.Bhagavatam, actually the two chapters, 76 and 77, that talks about the pastimes of the Lord ultimately slaying or killing Salva. Salva is a very formidable foe of Lord Kṛṣṇa. During the time of the pastime of he was actually a friend of Shishupal. At the time of the marriage, supposed to be that Rukmini is to choose, and Shishupal was not able to get Rukmini. She was abducted, so to speak. She was taken away by Lord Kṛṣṇa. And also when Shishupal was killed by Lord Krishna in the Rajasuya sacrifice, Shalva was present there. And he declared that I will kill all the Vrishni dynasties. So he performed some austerities that pleased Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva did not appear for 1 year. He let it go. Usually these demons, they will perform austerities to destroy Lord Krishna. So Lord Shiva, being Ashutosh, being who is very easily pleased. That's the meaning of Lord Shiva's name, Ashutosh, easily pleased. That he knew that if he's going to give a boon to Salva, it should be in such a way that it will not be very, very strong to kill Lord Krishna or his dynasty, especially in Dwarka. Lord Krishna already formed a kingdom in Dwarka where all of his 16,108 queens, they live along with their family members. So Lord Shiva is very careful in this way. So this pastime is not just a very, very exciting, a lot of actions, but it also holds a very symbolic meaning, especially when it comes to our bhakti, when it comes to the attack of Maya, and especially the nature of Maya. Yes, the nature of Maya. Nature of Maya. Because Lord Shiva, he gave Salva a carrier or some kind of spaceship that is made of iron. Of course, we've heard in the S.Bhagavatam also, there are many spaceships given. It's like Kardama Muni, because of his tapasya also, he somehow attained that like a city, a spaceship, but it's made of city, but it's full of variegatedness that travels all over the universe. However, the demons, when they get the benedictions again, it's like Shalva, he is the personification of hatred towards God. So, one time or another, we were also in that kind of category. We're just now in the process of developing love for Krishna. We were Mayavadis before, we were impersonalists before, but somehow, under the most blessed divine interference, we have met our ultimate savior, Srila Prabhupada. So, this pastime is not just historical, but it is a representative of the eternal battle between the forces of illusion and the divine reality. Actually, the battle is not outside. The battle is within. Prabhupada says that also. Yes? That there is no element outside interference can destroy our movement. What did he say? Inside. Inside. So somehow or other, because Maya is very tricky, this weapon of salva, this weapon of salva actually is very, very deceptive. As we've heard previously in the previous verses, that this soba, that's the name of the weapon or element that was created for salva by Lord Shiva, is meant to deceive the Brishnis, to give fear. Lord Shiva will not give a benediction to someone, especially the demons, that ultimately will destroy someone or kill somebody, but to save Lord Krishna or his dynasty. His dynasty also have the same Chinmaya Ras, Pradyumna, one of the quadruple expansion of the Supreme Lord. He has the same quality of Lord Krishna, full of knowledge, bliss, eternity. So how can they be destroyed? It's not possible. But Salva was given an illusion. It was an illusion to think that he will be able to destroy the kingdom in Dwarka and ultimately Lord Krishna. Yes, being so thinking is very powerful, his mindset is to destroy ultimately the Supreme Lord and his family members. So this aircraft is artificial. It is compared to illusory shelter of materialism. Sobha represents the false security of material civilization. It's like right now, people are thinking that everything will become better because of the advanced civilization that actually is getting worse. Prabhupada says also that they have invented this atomic weapon, that they will use it someday. They will use it one day, and everyone is afraid to use it. There is a race of armaments. Great powerful countries like USA, Russia, China, also India. But they will use it one day. But right now, they're in fear. Just like the war in Ukraine and Russia, it could have been ended long time ago. Why is it still continuing? Why still? This create fear. Again, this is Maya's duty. To create fear, to create anxiety, to create illusion for the living entities. So, this Salva aircraft has the ability to vanish and reappear. It symbolizes how illusion or Maya is also keep on shifting, changing. Yeah, sometimes the mind will think, oh, am I going, if I do this, is it okay? Or maybe I should do this. And Prabhupada says, there is no good and there is no bad in this world. Everything is bad. It's only our mental concoction. This is the trick of Maya. This is the trick of Maya. So materialistic person's mind floats in temporary hopes and aspirations. The non-devotees, they're thinking like that. Oh, there is hope. Everything will become better. But no way. It'll just get worse and worse. Kali Yuga progresses, everything will become so deteriorated. There is no hope except to take shelter of Lord Krishna. So, Salva's attack, constant assault of Maya on the devotee's heart. Now, the symbolic form of Dwarka is the heart of the devotee, the spiritual consciousness of the devotee. If we're not so strong, then we will also become disturbed. We will be in fear. We'll be always in anxiety. That's why the chakra that ultimately killed Salva symbolizes the knowledge. We need to sharpen our knowledge. It's like in the Bhagavad Gita also it says, armed with the sword of knowledge, cut your illusion. Cut your attachment to so-called family members. Because family also is temporary. This is the greatest binding force in the material world. If we have to follow the Vedic culture, the Vedic Siddhanta, but no need also to be renounced. It's like Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Bhaktivinoda Thakur had 13 children. Yes? But he didn't take sannyas. The goal of life is not to take sannyas. The goal of life is to become a pure devotee. But it's very difficult, especially in Kali Yuga. What if the family members are not favorable? That is very difficult to practice bhakti. Yes? How can you execute bhakti if you're always thinking, oh, how about my son? How about my daughter? What's going to happen to them? Why don't you think, what's going to happen to you? It's very difficult. The family attachment is the most binding in this world. So somehow or other, this Dwarka, that means our inner Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the only one who can actually help us. And we can take shelter of the Supreme Lord. So this is the deceptive power of Maya. Later on also, Salva will create an illusion that he was going to kill Krishna's father, Vasudeva. As we call Vasudeva, that means Lord Krishna. There's a hyphen in the A. And then Vasudeva means the father of Lord Krishna. He created this illusion that Vasudeva has been killed by Salva. And even Lord Krishna himself says that he became also bewildered. He was thinking that actually it happened. He was thinking that he became bewildered. Temporarily, momentarily, Lord Krishna was also seemingly, because he was playing in the role of a human being. If this is happening to Lord Krishna, momentarily, of course, he's not going to become bewildered. He's beyond. But just to set an example for all of us, was there a time that we were never bewildered? 99%. We are bewildered. Especially Maya. She represents herself. Prabhupada also, we've heard this story many times. The Prabhupada was praying in front of the deities. And one of his servants noticed that Prabhupada was so immersed, so absorbed for a long time. So later on, the servant asked Srila Prabhupada, how is it that you taking so long in front of the deities? This is not a regular routine of Prabhupada. He would, but this time special time, taking so much time. So he asked Prabhupada, why is that? And Prabhupada says, I'm praying to their lordships that I may not fall into Maya. So if Prabhupada is praying like that, what about us? And Prabhupada says, this is the problem, that you're not afraid enough of Maya. Because Maya, she presents herself in many, many ways to distract us, to ultimately surrender. We're always thinking, what if I surrender? What's going to happen to me? What if I give up my attachments, my material possessions, my wealth, my position? What's going to happen to me? Will my relatives still accept me? Will my family members still respect me? What if I lose all of them? Because this is one of when Lord Krishna shows his mercy, he says that he takes away everything. Yes? Are we afraid that Krishna will take away everything from us? Or we'll be left behind? Maybe your Japamala is the only one that will remain. The Japamala. So there's nothing to lose, everything to gain. Krishna always protects his devotees. Krishna is obliged, he never forgets his devotees. Any service rendered unto the Supreme Lord is eternally credited and never lost. There's no loss or diminution. Says Bhagavad Gita, right? Yeah. In this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution. So, yes, we have to be careful of Maya. This is the nature of illusion. It appears so real that even the Lord enacts bewilderment in his pastimes to instruct us on how to overcome deception. Yes. Krishna can see, but are we able to see also this deception of Maya? Sometimes, but most of the times, we're always being deceived by Maya. Maya. Yes. Let me see here. I have some notes here. So Salva represents illusion, materialism, and atheism. And Salva represents the temporary nature of worldly security. Even the parents cannot save their children at the time of death. No one can save us at the time of death. Only Lord Krishna and the devotees, they can save us. Fortunate enough for those who's about to leave their body, that they'll be surrounded by devotees, because that will make that devotee if he's surrounded by devotees, to remember Krishna. We have many experience here in Vrindavan like that. Devotees leaving their bodies, and there's a constant chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Fortunate they are. And sometimes devotees will fall away. But Prabhupada said someday they will all come back. And we've seen that also. Some of the disciples of Srila Prabhupada, they went astray, and somehow in the last leg of their life, they came back. Because Krishna, again, he never forgets. Prabhupada never forgets. And they came to Vrindavan. And to die in Vrindavan means guaranteed one goes back home, back to Godhead. Or even if you die outside of Vrindavan, if you're surrounded by the devotees of the Supreme Lord, guarantees also you go back home, back to Godhead. So we should pray for that. We should pray that at the time of death, we'll be surrounded by devotees. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will make that arrangement, especially those who took the risk of preaching, going out of their way to spread Krishna consciousness through book distribution, Harinam, or Prasadam distribution. Krishna's Sudarshan Chakra represents pure transcendental knowledge. We mentioned that already. So we should be well versed in Srila Prabhupada's books, especially Bhagavad Gita, S.Bhagavatam. There's so many courses now being offered in our society. Bhakti Sastri, Bhakti Vaibhav, Bhakti Vedanta, Bhakti Sarvabhauma. But the goal is not to take that course only, but to use the course in our everyday activities, everyday lives. When we say, oh yes, I have Bhakti Vedanta, that means, oh, you're eligible now to accept disciples. But then, is your character also changed? Is your values, moral etiquettes are changed? So yes, the chakra. And ultimately, the battle within will be won not because of our endeavor. Ultimately, it's because of Lord Krishna's mercy. Lord Krishna, He's the only one who can help us. No one else can help us. Our spiritual master also, a bona fide spiritual master, can help us. If we think of our spiritual master at the time of death, we also go back home, back to Godhead. Because he's always engaged, 24 hours in Krishna consciousness. So, this is about Salva and the battle that he wanted to give a hard time to the Vrishnis. We will read more later on, but this is the short purport. This is my thoughts on this topic. Any questions or comment? Is first, Apurva second. What's your name, Prabhu?
Ramana Sukha.
Ramana Sukha. Yeah, many Prabhupada's disciples here would like to recognize them. That's why I think, yes. Yeah, we're going to give you a name tag so that everyone can. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much for the advice, Maharaj. You're giving symbolic meaning to the Bhagavatam. I understand that. I think much of the Bhagavatam has a lot of symbolic meaning. The literal meaning, of course, is what we're also focusing on. That's what Srila Prabhupada focused on.
Yes.
So when we give symbolic meaning, should it be coming from other Vaishnava acharyas, or if we give our own symbolic meaning, can that be a form of philosophical speculation, as long as it's in line with?
As long as, you're right, as it is in line, because we're talking about philosophy here. We're talking about something which is very difficult to grasp.
Yeah, so
Yes.
and then maybe we discuss the distinction between philosophical speculation and mental speculation, and how philosophical speculation can be utilized.
Sure. Mental speculation means if it's out of order, if it's not aligned with this topic. Yeah, it's easy to speculate, and that is the most easiest to do, but the most difficult to get rid of. Mental speculation. Yes. So I'm just giving you these symbolic ways because it's in our daily activities.
I follow what you're saying.
Yes.
But I think part of my question is,
How to
would you derive this symbolism yourself, or did you derive it from other commentaries?
Well,
Prabhupada was not giving it.
some of them from the acharyas, yes, of course. Some of them from the acharyas. Mhm. And some of them from my realization,
Yeah.
from what I read from Prabhupada's books.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Purva Prabhu.
Two questions. First, you emphasize that by just living in Vrindavan, that living and being here in Vrindavan is automatic back to God.
If you die in Vrindavan, see there are different kinds of Brajavasis. One who took birth here, you're Brajavasi. One who lives here, and you took birth here, you're a Brajavasi. Now, if you came from somewhere and you live here for a long time, you also like being considered as a Brajavasi. Okay, but the real Brajavasi is always thinking of Krishna 24 hours. You can be somewhere else, or if you have come here and you leave your body here, many devotees, they left their body here unexpected. They're going on a parikrama, heart attack. One devotee coming for Mangalarti.
Don't scare everyone.
I'm just giving you an example. One devotee is trying to come for Mangalarti. He left his body right there. I'm not trying to scare you. But Krishna will call his devotee in any place, in any circumstance. But our goal is to think of Krishna 24 hours. Yes. So Brajabasi means consciousness, thinking of Krishna.
Then earlier you mentioned how it's getting so much worse. The climate.
Yeah, it's getting worse.
But at the same time, there's so many wonderful accomplishments that are being made.
Can you speak closer?
In the Sankirtan movement, we're seeing in the world more, even politicians are saying Hare Krishna, different things to indicate that maybe there is a change of the environment and people are becoming more aware.
Sure.
If you talk to a Newton,
It's possible, especially It depends on us ultimately. If we continue preaching, not sit on a very comfortable place and let the whole world go to hell, then that means the combined efforts of everyone. Prabhupada says it's like the Battle of Kurukshetra was won in 18 days. Yeah? If all of us also, with our diversity, become unified and become sincere, we can also conquer the whole world in 18 days. That's not mental speculation. Sige, Mahadi Prabhu.
Add a comment to leaving your body in Mayapur, leaving beautiful. My mother, I kind of tricked her to go to Mayapur. She's not a devotee, but
Your mother, yes,
she
yes.
died in Mayapur. So Jayapataka Swami told me, passing Prabhupada, he arrived in Mayapur once and he was in his room and he was drinking water. Prabhupada exclaimed, Mayapur, the spiritual world.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter whether you live or die.
Mhm.
So they asked, what do you mean by that? He said, because you're in the spiritual world. When you die, you stay in it.
Mhm.
So it's not like if you leave your body in this holy now, it's not like you're going to go someplace else. You're already in the spiritual world.
Yes.
So it's very simple.
One can be here, but at the same time not being here.
Well, listen to the doing all.
We're not here right now.
I can be speaking here, maybe you're thinking of somewhere else also. So that's true. Being here means this is the energy of extension of Lord Balaram's energy. But still have to somehow realize that Lord Balaram's mercy for us to be serving. We've heard that yesterday from Shrutakirti Prabhu. I've heard a segment that being active, I've heard that segment, being active. We should be so active that there is no 1 millimeter of space that Maya can enter into. Yeah. Lazy intelligent or something. Or active foolish. We cannot be like that.
Seeking deity, of course, Mayapuri, the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. So whoever there lives there, dies there. But Prabhupada did say here in Vrindavan, you're not guaranteed by dying in Vrindavan if you make offenses. He did say you could come back as an animal, a monkey, dog.
5th canto of the S.Bhagavatam.
Yes.
Story of Rishabdev.
So and then, you know, the famous Guru Das said, what about the sadhus of the Jamuna smoking ganja? What happens to them? And Prabhupada said they come back as hippies in San Francisco. I've always considered, you know, it's not a bad bargain, even if you make offenses to come back as an animal, because they don't live very long in Vrindavan. So it's a short punishment. But he also said you can come back as a tree. So you may have to come here and stand for several hundred years
Right.
as a tree,
Absolutely.
being attacked by monkeys and things like that. So better not commit offenses.
I noticed the dog right in front of the store. I noticed a dog for many, many years. And he's really suffering right now. He's about to leave his body. A dog right there.
He was run over by a car recently.
Oh. Monkeys and animals, yes, Prabhupada says this is their last life. They're always covered by Brajaraj. 24 hours. If Brajaraj is with you, that's it. That's why the Brajavasis, when they live in Vrindavan, they go into travel, they will carry some Brajaraj with them, and they will smear their head, or they will take few grains of Brajaraj. They're always in connection with Vrindavan in that way. So I was thinking, whenever I will pass by, in front of the store near NBT, that dog is really old, and that dog is really suffering at the same time. And the monkeys in winter time, very cold, and also summertime, they don't have any shelter, they feel so hot, they don't have anything to eat. But why become a monkey or a dog or a cat that will guarantee you to go back home, back to Godhead? Yes. Prabhupada says, make this one lifetime to go back home, back to Godhead by serving. Yes.
They took bird of the dog went down, and still in the spiritual world.
Yes, but a lot of suffering though. A lot of suffering.
Kṛṣṇa. So the question is, most of the classes we hear mercy.
Mercy.
Mercy. Some say Prabhupada's mercy, Krishna's mercy. So I wanted to check. So let's say we really don't follow much spiritual practice. And then there is other category who is very serious about his spiritual life.
Mm-hmm.
But then mercy's definition says that it's you really don't deserve that, but
Costless.
it's costless.
Costless.
So how do you relate this? Because if Krishna's mercy is costless, so do we need to relate?
Mercy is open for everyone. Now, are you ready to accept it and follow the procedure ultimately to go back home, back to Godhead? The Lord's mercy is free for everyone. Freely, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But are we ready to really accept it? Because we cannot just say, oh, it's Krishna's mercy, I don't have to do anything. No, we have to work hard for that. We have to follow the sadhana bhakti. Mercy is there. Like being here, this is Prabhupada's mercy. Now when we go home and we do nonsense things, then that mercy is not really increasing. It's maybe stagnant or maybe going down. But mercy is always there for everyone. Don't take advantage of Prabhupada's mercy or the Lord's mercy. Meaning, but don't take advantage means you have to work hard for that also. Isn't it? We have to do this sadhana, get up on Mangalarti, chant our rounds, all these things. Then mercy will keep on flowing. Yes? Okay? We stop here now. Any questions from Mataji's side? Yes, Mataji. Oh, right there, right there. Any comments, reflections? Mm-hmm.
Thank you. In regards to family attachments, Prabhupada said not to have children unless you can make them Krishna conscious.
Right.
So, in relation to a devotee, what distinctions do you see between attachment and responsibility?
There are two words here, affection and attachment. Affection should always be there. Attachment means I want to make them happy even if they're in Maya. To provide them more Maya, they'll be more happy. There should be some demarcation of your affection also. The real affection is to give them Krishna consciousness. So, and if they don't take it seriously, they are on their own. You cannot do much. Prabhupada says also the demigods are waiting to take birth in ISKCON. That means the children. And Prabhupada says also the next generation, not this one, the next one, and after that one, they'll be so powerful. The children in ISKCON will be so powerful. They'll be flying like in a carpet. That means golden age will be there for the next 10,000 years. And how to fulfill this? We have to do our work now. That's why I said the other day, it's scary. After you all, Prabhupada's disciples will not be here anymore. What's going to happen to us? Unless we're not so strong. So family life is a life of responsibility. And Bhagavatam says, if you're not sure that your subjects will not be liberated, don't be a king, don't be a guru, don't be a teacher, don't be a parent. It's a big responsibility. And if you're so sure, then as Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, I don't mind to have sex 100 times. But who can guarantee that? That's why he remained as Naistika Brahmachari. Grihastha life means extra luggage. Sometimes when I travel, I bring few things with me that I never use the whole trip.
First class, you get extra luggage free.
Yes. So we have to be careful, especially the Grihastha ashram. And do your best. Try your best. What can we do? Once they grow up, I mentioned this the other day also. 14 years old is the magic age. This is the deciding factor. Whether they will continue on to the path that we aspire for them to go, or they will do what they want to do in their life and not become Krishna conscious. But maybe they'll be also a little bit following. So it may take them many, many lifetimes to surrender. But this is the hope of the family members, the parents, that they become Krishna conscious.
One more question.
Yes.
Okay.
Gunarnava Prabhu.
It's a comment in a sense, but anyway, I was reading just the other day, I've never read this before. Prabhupada was emphasizing the importance of our neck beads. And then he went on to say that if you knew the extent of the Mahatattva, and then he went on to say that if you got a 25-kilo sack of mustard seeds, now you know a little mustard seed, it's almost like a miniature universe, it's like a little brown seed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's no calculating how many mustard seeds there are in a 25-kilo sack. You could never calculate it. Impossible. So Prabhupada says, without wearing neck beads, you're subjected, regardless of your situation, you're subjected to going to one of these planets in the Mahakampha. There's so many. Like this universe that we're in today, there's only 4 directions. It's a very small universe, north, south, east, west. The Prabhupada was also saying in the Bible that there are planets in the Mahatattva that have thousands of directions just in one universe.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to be aware of how dangerous it's like. We have to be very conscious of every part of our conscious responsibility. And just quickly, talking about the dog, right?
Mm-hmm.
When we started building the temple, this dog appeared, and it had every disease under the sun. You can imagine, it was riddled with disease.
and it had chronic asthma as well. So it tries to burn, but it would just, and whenever he saw a Vaishnava on the land, he would walk out slowly and bend his body.
Put your microphone, please.
He would bend his body so like it became like a U shape. And he was so humble and stuff. And he would never be a cause of agitation. He would always keep his distance, right? But we would feed it prashad, And there's of course there's that leader with the God, the Lord Chaitanya, in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. That Lord Chaitanya allowed the dog to just stay on the periphery of wherever they were, whatever festival or whatever was happening. So what can you say, Just have to be careful not to be a dog, I guess. But who would want to be a dog in Vrindavan? I don't know. Sounds like a half decent thing.
I saw a picture was taken by Bhakti Bringa Govinda Swami Maharaj.
Yes.
It's a dog. His comment is, he must be one of the temple presidents in his previous lifetime.
Thanks, Lord.
No, that doesn't include you. But he's saying just
Scaring me.
no.
Sure, Dr. Siddhartha says,
There was a story like that also in
yeah,
the scripture.
this scene.
Part of the management or something.
Srila Bhakti Siddhanta says in the Brahma, he says, what you see, but what you don't see. And we're talking a lot about things we don't see. So,
It's very
they're very interesting stories.
yeah.
All right.
I'm not trying to scare everyone, but this is applicable for everyone, that we must be very careful, especially Vaishnava Bharat. Okay. And here in Vrindavan, this is the last thing that I cannot afford to do. I don't want to do that. It feels heavy. When I say something, it feels heavy immediately, then I try to ask forgiveness as much as possible. But sometimes we commit mistakes or offenses when it comes to serving here in Vrindavan. But our purpose is sincere. This is what we are trying to do here. So, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam K. Vitai Gaur Sitana Pramanande. Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Om Tat Sat.